Hello everyone and welcome back to Code Realize. Sorry, the weekend gets busy, so I can't really I don't really have time to make a video over the weekend, and it's really late at night, so it's probably not gonna get edited today either, but I'll edit it in the morning when I wake up. It took me a long time to figure out why OBS wasn't even showing my video, so that was a pain. And then for some reason my Sims game, the application file is gone, and I don't know why either, so that also frustrated me. I like watching my Sims walk around and be dumb while I record this. I don't know why, it's just amusing. And then I also have my snake chilling out on my hand. He was going all over the place, but he has found a spot to chill. And so we are ready to record finally. We're going to be starting down Abraham's route, starting in chapter 1. So we're going to go to a new game. We're going to be named Cardia. And I'm going to do the skip function up until his choices. That way you can skip the 8 chapter common route if you want. It's going to be in Impy's route if you want to read all of it. It's just not going to have Van Helsing's choices. It's going to have Impy's choices. So if you want Van Helsing, I'm going to do them here, and I'm going to list timestamps down below so you can see what each one of them are. So we're going to take his hand here. We're going to allow Victor to examine us, so both of them are the same as Impy's. Okay, we're in chapter 2, and we're at the casino, so instead of going with Impy, we're going to go with Victor. Victor, can I come with you?
それはいいけど、ルパンと一緒にいた方が安全かもしれないよ。
Well, maybe, but we can't go with Lupin until his route, so... He seems a bit preoccupied. I feel like I'd get in his way.
久しぶりに大暴れしちまうか。この勝負運の強さ、見せつける時が来た。
Who is he trying to show off to?
君の言い分は分かった。ルパンがダメなら、僕が君をエスコートするよ。お嬢様。
Oh, that's so cute. Thank you, Victor.
あれ？なんで俺が選択肢に入ってないの？なんでルパンがダメだとフラン一択なの？俺もいるよ。俺を忘れないで。
Well, if we didn't do your route first, it'd be because of that attitude, but we've already done your route, so... Victor chuckles at Impy's whining. We tell Impy and Lupin that we will meet them at the entrance later and start walking around the casino together.
それにしても困ったな。僕はどうもこういう華やかな雰囲気が苦手でさ。
I think I know what you mean. Everything is so glamorous and I feel a bit out of my element.
ああ、そうだ。さっきいろいろな食べ物の売店を見つけたんだ。あの辺りでゆっくりするというのはどう？
That sounds nice. I'm starting to feel like I might get along very well with Victor. We head towards the food stands.
食べたいものは何かあるかい？
I don't think I'm all that hungry, but the delicious smells coming from each vendor are attracting my attention.
決められないなら、あれはどう？
Victor approaches the food stand and comes back carrying a strange-looking food. He is holding a wooden stick in each hand with a white fuzzy cloud on each end. Dongus? What's this, Victor?
フェアリーフロスっていう食べ物でね。技術革新の波の中で生まれたお菓子なんだ。
Of course, it has to be called something exotic and unique only to this game.
3年前、機械技師であり、錬金術師でもあったスコット・マコーリーが発明したものでね。
He hands me one of the sticks. A sweet scent wafts from it.
砂糖を熱すると液状になるんだけど、それを回転させて遠心力で放射状に飛ばすんだ。そうすると砂糖は空中で冷えて糸状になって。
Sorry about that sound. It was my Sims saying it was done. I half-heartedly listen to Victor while I stare intently at the white fluff.
と、 ごめんごめん。まずは食べてみたいよね。遠慮せずにどうぞ。
Victor's so cute.
どうしたの？どこか苦しい？
Does it hurt? It's good.
なんだ、脅かさないでよ。
I eat the whole thing far faster than I would have thought possible. It's so sweet and white. So good. Like magic. I like to eat more, but the other stick is Victor's.
気に入ったなら僕のもあげるよ。
No, I'm alright. Even while I'm saying this, I can't help but turn my eyes to Victor's fairy floss.
じゃあ、こうしよう。
I'm gonna share it. Victor tells the wad of fluff off and puts it in his mouth and hands the stick to me.
甘いものは嫌いじゃないけど、正直量が多すぎるなーって思ってたんだ。食べてくれるとありがたいよ。
He's so cute. In that case, I'll have it. Thank you, Victor.
どういたしまして。
Victor smiles, making him look even kinder than he already does. I'm suddenly embarrassed to look at him directly, so I thank him and decide to focus on my newly acquired fairy floss. A little bit later, we all meet up again. Lupin was a big winner and was told not to come back by the people running the casino. So yeah, we've read that part, so we're going to skip to the next part. Alright, we're going to come out like normal. Or I should say like before. Alright, so we're now have Van Helsing, so we're going to ask Van Helsing to teach us. Mr. Van Helsing, would you teach me?
私か？
Yes, I'd like to ask you for help.
私自身が言うのもなんだが、昨日銃を突きつけてきたような男を真っ先に選ぶとは。お前も随分と変わっているな。
That's funny.
仕方ありません。この屋敷の住人は一人残らず変わっていますから。
It can't be helped.
本当にね。
I saw your strength firsthand yesterday. If I need to learn how to protect myself, I'd like to start with lessons from you. And Helsing nods in reply.
わかった。いいだろう。お前に戦いというものを教えてやろう。
なあ、ほどほどにしとけよ。相手は繊細なレディーなんだからな。
問題ない。これでもかつては英国騎士団に席を置いた身だ。レディーと暴漢の扱いは心得ている。
Both ladies and thugs.
安心するがいい、カルディア。
I can't help but feel subtle malice intent on how he looks at me.
バンは教育者ってより暗殺者ってイメージだもんな。
平気かな？傷薬とか持っていくかい？
Bandages.
うるさい、口を出すな。大丈夫だと言っているだろう。
大丈夫だというその顔がすでに怖いですよ。
His silent glare is even more fearsome. I start walking after Van Helsing and we arrive at a riverbank near the mansion. The breeze from the Thames feels good.
時間が惜しい。ぼんやりしている暇はないぞ。
Yes, Master Van Helsing.
先生。
The one learning is the student and the one teaching is the master, right?
先生。悪くない。
That's funny. He's like, I like this. It's fine.
なんでもない。準備ができたならば、さっさと始めるぞ。
Alright.
それではまず、戦いの心得を教えてやる。基本は、戦うなだ。
Don't. That sounds like a contradicted
素人は覚えたての護身術に頼るより、ずっと有効な戦術だ。覚えておけ。戦うな。そんな状況になったら、ためらいなく逃げろ。
You're starting to sound like Lupin.
あんなコソ泥と一緒にするな。仕方ないだろう。身を守る上で本当に有効なのだからな。とにかくそれを前提としてこれからお前に戦う術を教えてやる。
Are we using guns and swords? I'm not very comfortable with those things.
いや、お前に教えるのは格闘術だ。素人が武器を持つと気持ちが大きくなり警戒を怠ることになる。
I see.
それとお前の体に救う毒、溶かせないものはないと聞いているが事実か？
That's what Victor says.
ならばその毒は奥の手に取っておけ。奇襲に使える。
Tiramisu?
それはフランスアルザス・ロレーヌの郷土料理だ。パイ生地の上に卵やクリームと野菜、肉、そしてチーズを乗せて焼き上げたパイ料理のことだろう。
Where did tiramisu come out of this? I don't understand. Okay.
何度か挑戦したことがあるがうまく焼けた試しがない。というかそのキッシュのことではない。わかったか？
That's what I thought. I'm like, where did this dessert come from? I don't understand. Yes, I understand that you obviously like to cook.
とにかくその毒は奥の手に取っておけ。お前には素人でも使える護身術を教える。
Alright.
まず殴るのはやめろ。指を折る可能性がある。大振りの蹴りもダメだ。バランスが取れず倒れる可能性がある。
What should I do then?
殴るにせよ蹴るにせよ実戦でいきなり体が動くようになるには何年もかかる。たった数日の付け焼き場ではまず無理だ。もっと技術のいらない単純な方法を教える。
No skill?
ああ、油断しているところを肩から思いっきり体当たりしろ。
Throw myself.
そして敵がひるんだら逃げるだけだ。どうだ？難しくないだろ
I think I can do that.
う。いい返事だ。なら軽く実践してみるとしよう。受け止めてやる。
Just don't touch
全
your
力でやっ
skin.
てみるがいい。
Alright. I brace myself, then charge forward, leading with my shoulder. Or at least I try. And Helsing steps aside and I fall. You said you would catch me.
ああ、いやすまない。少し驚いた。
That was rude. What about that surprised you? I pulled myself up.
お前の瞬発力、波ではないな。まともにぶつかれば相当な威力になる。
They just let her fall to the ground instead. Isn't that normal?
ああ、幸いなことにお前には適性がありそうだ。体当たりを覚えたら次は打撃を教えよ
I'll do my best.
う。うん。では本格的な訓練に入る前に一つ聞いておこう。素手の戦いに最も必要なものとは何だと考える？
This could be insight to catch the opponent off guard. Is it insight to see when the opponent isn't paying attention?
その通りだ。なかなか勘がいいな。
I wasn't expecting him to praise me.
どんな強者でも油断や隙を突かれれば脆い。大切なのは相手の準備が整うまでに先手を打つということだ。
Yes, Master Van Helsing.
先生と呼ぶからにはしっかりと覚えてもらうぞ。途中で逃げ出すなよ。
I'll be alright. Van Helsing and I worked on teaching me combat skills until the sun goes down. He says that I have a talent for it and even teaches me some basic kicks when he was only going to teach me a shoulder charge. I feel stronger.
バカを言うな。それはあくまでも一時的な錯覚だ。
At this rate, I'll become stronger than you at some point.
錯覚を通り越して幻覚だ。
I think I might pursue a career in the martial arts.
幻覚どころか人生に迷子だな。父親探しは一体どうするつもりなんだ。
Then Helsing sighs and begins walking. Are we done for today?
ああ。日が暮れたら戻るようにとの取り決めだからな。
As I follow Van Helsing, I begin to realize something. Hey, Mr. Van Helsing, why are you walking slower than we headed out earlier?
お前が疲れているだろうと思ったからだ。
Oh.
なんだ。黙ってこっちを見るな。
I'm just surprised. When I first saw you, I thought you were a scary person.
レディの扱いは心得ていると言ったはずだ。
That's right, but you don't have to worry about me. I'm not tired at all. We can keep going.
あれだけやってか。呆れたものだな。
Van Helsing picks up the pace a little, and I continue to follow him. He still doesn't say much, but I feel as if the distance between us has closed a bit. A few days later, every day I was taught by someone new to protect myself in different ways. Okay, when I skip until the next one. We're going to ask Van Helsing to teach again. I want Van Helsing to teach.
私か。いいだろう。ルパンに言われるまでもなく、そろそろ仕上げに入ろうと思っていたところだ。
I'm looking forward to it.
おお、カルディアちゃん、なんだか好戦的な顔をしてるね。
And I better watch out.
張り切るのはいいことだけど、怪我だけは注意してね。
I can't do that, Victor. I'm trying to learn how to fight. Getting hurt is part of that training. Experiencing pain is part of that, isn't it, Van Helsing?
ああ、その通りだ。
Okay, if I get hurt.
おいおい、バン。お前、どんな訓練させてんだよ。
たとえ黄昏相手だとしても、一人くらいなら簡単に潰せる程度の訓練だ。実質的な効果としては文句あるまい。
おやおや。ですが何事もほどほどにですよ。
問題ない。大怪我をさせた記憶もないしな。
That's good.
それ、暗に小さな怪我はたくさんさせてるってことなんじゃ。
I'm fine. I need to do this, and I heal quickly in any case. Everyone else at the table looks at each other, and no further objections are raised. I'm ready to learn, Van Helsing.
ああ、こちらも手を抜くつもりはない。しっかりとついてこい。
Right. After breakfast, Van Helsing and I arrive at the riverbed. He and I usually come here for my self-defense lessons. What are you going to teach me today? Punching? More throwing?
いや、今日は総合的な戦い方を指導する。対武器の訓練だ。
You've done that a few times already. Is this a review?
いや、実践形式で基礎の応用だ。
Are you going to have to disarm him? What? I'm going to fight you?
そうだ。岩塩弾は強力だ。一撃もらったら終わりだと思え。
Oh my goodness. But he's already shooting. He shoots at me, not giving me time to talk. Thanks to my training, I was already moving as the gun came up and somehow avoid the spray of salt.
見事だ。一昔前のお前なら今の一撃で終わっていた。
And Helsing is serious. I know the effect of those shots from a previous battle. It can knock a grown man out in one hit or even break bones. That's how Lupin explained it to me. Van Helsing, wait.
実戦形式と言ったはずだ。やめてほしければ自分の力で止めてみせろ。
I barely managed to dodge another shot. In reality, I'm not dodging bullets, but I'm observing the direction the gun is pointing and shifting my position away. A single hit would be enough to seriously injure me. I can't help but tense up. I have a few options in this fight. I can raise my hands, pretending to give up. I can move around constantly or hide behind some sort of cover. Or I can fight back. Yeah. I stepped close to him as he taught me and thrust out my palm, aiming for his jaw. The human jaw is one of the body's weak points. It can't be trained through use, and even a weak hit can achieve great damage. However, the gun intercepts my strike, followed by a blow to my forehead, which sets sparks off behind my eyelids. I lose my balance and take a step back. I take a small breath, waiting for the pain and shock to pass. This is an actual battle. Enemies won't hold back in a real battle. That's why Van Helsing is attacking me in earnest and not going easy on me. I need to be appreciative of this.
さて、ここからどう動く？
A small wisp of smoke is rising from Van Helsing's gun where it touched my skin. He doesn't seem to mind though and points the gun at me again.
間合いに入ったのはなかなかの判断だが、敵に近づいたからといって安心するな。攻撃の間合いに入っているのはお前も同じことだ。睨むだけでは敵は倒せないぞ。この間合いのままではお前に勝ち目はない。
It's not true. I jump to the side and throw a clod of dirt I had picked up at his face.
目つぶし。なるほど。ルパンの指導か。
Yeah, right. Van Helsing is momentarily taken aback. I don't give him a chance to recover. I pick up a rock and move in close again, ready to throw it. But by the time I had raised the rock, the muzzle of the gun is pointed between my eyes.
チェックメイト。といったところだ。
Raise my hands and surrender. I surrender. I slowly raise my hands, and Helsing smiles faintly.
いいだろう。合格だ。
あ？
戦いの中では、時には負けを認め、無抵抗を示す必要も出てくる。いかに負けるかが重要になる時がある。絶対的に不利な状況で、抵抗を続けて死んでしまっては、それこそ無駄死にというものだ。お前は負けを認めるタイミングを誤らなかった。いい判断だ。
I thought she was going to use the lapse in time to, like, take the upper hand. But it's strange to be praised for losing. It's strange to be praised for losing, but it feels good.
今の感覚を忘れないことだ。
He rarely praises me right to my face like this. It's sort of embarrassing, but I feel slightly happy nonetheless. Right. And Helsing tells me to take a short break, then looks back at me.
実戦形式に緊張感を持たせるよう、あえて言わなかったが、今回の戦いで使った岩塩弾は火薬の量を減らしたものだ。
He was going easy on her in case.
多少の衝撃は感じるだろうが、その程度だ。怪我を負うことはありえないはずだ。
That's really sweet. Like, just in case you fail, I'm going to put less gunpowder in it. You were looking out for me?
何をバカな。訓練で大怪我をするような状況は、私の指導中ではありえない。それだけのことだ。
Sure, whatever. Thank you for being so considerate while training me. I feel like I've become stronger thanks to you.
いくら飲み込みがいいとはいえ、うぬぼれるなよ。多少は逃げる足しになるくらいに思っておくのが正解だ。
I understand. Let's continue.
休まなくてもいいのか？
I don't want to rest until I hear you say you give up.
それでは、お前は永遠に休めないな。
As he says this, he readies his guns.
かかってこい。訓練の成果、見せてみろ。
You asked for it. I take a step towards Van Helsing. Alright, we're in chapter 4. Where he's asking us what we think about the train robbery. We agree. I agree with Lupin's plan. Because your chances of failing are always 0, isn't that right, Lupin?
ああ、その通りだ。
ルパンのいるいないなど関係ない。私一人でもやり遂げてやろう。
A little bit confident, are we?
さすがにそれは無理じゃない？
じゃ、全員賭けに乗るってことでいいんだな。
Yep. We're going to check on Van Helsing. Walk down the hall to find Van Helsing. He should be in the lounge. He said he'd be maintaining his weapons. I knock a few times on the door. Van Helsing, it's me, Cardia.
何の用だ?
It's pretty loud for coming through the door. I was wondering if there was anything I could do to help. That's all I say, and he doesn't respond. I start to leave, feeling rejected when...
入っていい。鍵は開いている。
Are you sure?
聞こえなかったか？私は許可したぞ。
He sounds slightly angry, but I enter the room anyway. There are rows of ammunition and dismantled weapon parts all over the desk. Wow, are you taking all this ammunition?
相手の方が数が多い。用心に越したことはない。
I see. Is there anything I can do to help you?
武器の手入れはできるか？銃の組み立ては？
Nobody taught me how to do that.
だろうな。私もお前には武器の扱いを教えていない。
Well, now would be a good time to teach her. Is there nothing I can do for him?
何も必要ない。
You want me to leave?
そう思ったなら部屋に入れていない。
What should I do here?
今回の作戦は私一人でも遂行できる。
What?
私は強い。何があっても対処できる。
No, you can't. You didn't go. You didn't succeed when that old man was there.
お前ごときがどのようなミスをしても、それで作戦が失敗するようなことはありえない。そういうことだ。
You are not expecting a certain someone to show up. Alright.
それにお前は自衛できる程度の実力はある。何も心配することはない。
Thank you for reassuring me.
何を言っている？私はそんなつもりで言ったのではない。単なる事実を述べただけだ。
And Helsing starts cleaning a small weapon piece, looking upset for some reason. I look at him again and my heart feels much lighter than when I had entered. For some reason it won't let me skip this. I'm pretty sure I read it, but it says Lupin and MP will approach the train from above using a flying machine called an ornithopter and land on the target's car. Oh, well, and now it skips again, so whatever. We're going to board the train this time. I'm getting on the train.
そうか、わかった。よろしく頼むぜ、フラン。ファンにもよろしく伝えといてくれ。
I have a feeling this is going to be probably close to an hour because of all the new content with the different choices. So this is probably going to be a different video. This will probably be its own video, and then I'll just start Van Helsing's on his own video.
危険なのはどこでも一緒か。わかった。全力で彼女を守るよ。
Victor nods and Lupin's group leaves, and Helsing joins me and Victor on the platform.
私たちと共に列車に乗ることを選んだか。
Yeah, because you're on the train.
身の安全は保証してやるが、足を引っ張るなよ。
Don't worry, I can defend myself.
口だけでないことを期待する。
You don't have very much confidence in your own people.
じゃあ早速乗り込むとしようか。やらなければいけないことはたくさんあるんだから。
I follow Victor and Van Helsing. I look up at the massive machine one last time before boarding the train car. It almost feels like I'm being devoured. I shake my head to dispel this awful image and step aboard. We board the last car of the train. Once our plan begins, our objective will be to lower the guards to this car and disconnect the guards and all. There's already a few passengers on board and I hear chattering around me. This is what it's like inside. It's so strange that so many people can travel all together. I feel a little restless.
ああ、その気持ちよくわかるよ。僕も最初に乗った時はそんな感じだったな。
すぐに慣れる。それより気を緩めるのよ。ここから先は命のやり取りになる。
わかってる。僕らがやるしかないんだよね。
I wonder if it will go as planned.
きっとうまくいく。いや、うまくいくようにしよう。
The whistle blows again, and the scenery outside the window begins to move slowly. The train is finally moving. A regular series of vibrations shakes my body. The sensation makes me more nervous. We leave the station and pass through the city, and it suddenly becomes dark outside. Suddenly. The moon shines over a bare field of grass. At first, Van Helsing and Victor go over the plan again and again, but eventually they fall silent. They're probably lost in their thoughts. Will I soon be faced with the answers to some of my mysteries? My poison, and people who have information about my family. The train eventually comes to a stop. The passengers exit one after another. Finally, our kidnapping mission has begun. Everyone's silent. A while after that, we conceal ourselves behind the seats in the now quiet train car and wait for the train to depart. We had departed with the other passengers. Once the conductor's inspection of the train finished, we snuck back aboard. We sit still, waiting for the right moment. So no one's supposed to be on board right now besides Finis? That seems a little weird, but I guess. Then the train begins moving again.
これでこの列車は走る牢獄となった。
And Helsing says this quietly as he unpacks the weapons he had been hiding.
けど、逃げ場がないのは僕たちも同じだよ、バン。
Victor is holding the detonator given to him by MP tightly.
逃げる必要などない。なぜならこの場における狩人は私だからだ。
最後までその立場が覆らないことを祈るよ。カルディア、準備はいいかい？
Yes, I'll stay hidden. If something happens to you too, I'll assess the situation and take appropriate action.
それでいい。何もせず終わるのならばそれに越したこともない。
And Helsing looks out the window. There's a windmill on a nearby hill, a landmark Lupin had told us about. When the windmill is out of sight, that's our cue to take action. The blades of the windmill are spinning rapidly. The wind must be very strong. Lupin and MP are supposed to attack the train from the ornithopter. I hope they'll be alright. None of us can hide our nervousness as the moment approaches. Soon, very soon. And then...
フラン、今だ。
At Van Helsing's command, the bombs set in the car ahead of us go off one after another. The car shakes violently. The light and heat reach as far as our car, even though none of the bombs were set in here. What a huge explosion. Won't the train break?
大丈夫。爆発の威力は調節しておいた。それにどちらかというと、音や閃光、それに煙幕、目くらましの要素の強い爆弾なんだ。
And most importantly, noise.
これで少しは 黄昏の数が減ってくれるといいんだけど。
そう簡単にいけばいいがな。黄昏も出来損ないの諜報員ばかりではない。能力が劣っている者たちがいれば。
You hear footsteps approaching the door to this car. Victor and Van Helsing stand in the middle of the car with their weapons out, and I hide in the rear behind them. Then, countless soldiers appear. They look just like the ones that attacked me in the port area of London. These men are indeed Twilight agents.
中には当然抜きんでた実力の者たちも存在する。
The soldiers are completely focused and show no hesitation at all. They immediately draw out their swords when they see us. However, Van Helsing fires his gun before they can act, taking down some of the guards near the entrance.
とはいえ、私には遠く及ばない。上には上がいるということをよく覚えておくことだな。
Van Helsing skillfully wields his shotguns and shoots the soldiers trying to enter the car one after another. It's like whack-a-mole. The guards aren't bleeding, however. It seems Van Helsing is using rock salt again, which doesn't cause lasting damage. The windows on one side of the car shatter, and the guards are swinging from the roof trying to flank us. Van Helsing, watch out!
うっとうしい奴らだ。その程度で奇襲のつもりか？
In an instant, Van Helsing's gunfire knocks the soldiers right out of the windows, pushing them out the way they came in.
黄昏も随分と質が落ちたな。私が在籍していた頃ならば、この程度のぬるい襲撃はありえない。
Wow.
もしかして本当にバンだけでなんとかなっちゃうんじゃないかな。
私に荷物がなければな。ここからが本番だろう。フラン、お前の出番だ。後ろを任せた。
Oh, he would be able to if, like, whatever his name is didn't show up. And Sholmes, I guess. The moment he says this, the windows on the other side shatter and more Twilight troops start piling in.
そんな。
驚く暇があるなら敵を撃て。もたもたしていると殺されるぞ。
What's he gonna shoot them with? He doesn't have a gun. Van Helsing continues to fire, taking down soldiers with every shot. Victor glances over to my hiding place and nods.
ここでできないとは言えないさ。僕だってやってみせる。二人とも伏せて。
Victor throws a glass tube towards the group of soldiers hiding behind the seats. With a dull popping sound, many of the enemy troops fall to the ground.
殺す気はない。けど僕たちにだって引けない理由があるんだ。
その調子だ。こちらを気にする必要はない。持てるすべてを用いて奴らを吹き飛ばせ。
Battle gets more and more intense. Van Helsing shoots the soldiers entering from the front of the car while those in cover fall victim to Victor's glass tubes. Van Helsing himself had taught me that it's very difficult to overwhelm an enemy when fighting in a small place. Even with that in mind, Victor and Van Helsing still seem invincible. Maybe it will really only take the two of them to nullify all of Twilight soldiers guarding this train. But even as I'm thinking this, the stream of soldiers seems ever-ending. I start to wonder where they had all been hiding. Victor suddenly stops throwing tubes. His face is twisted with disappointment. He looks at his hands, and I see that he has run out of tubes. A soldier swings in through the window and lands right next to Victor. come out of hiding. Victor! I missed that he's in danger. I shout and come out from behind the seat. The Twilight Soldier turns to me, his sword pointed at Victor, but I'm faster. The best way to send the maximum amount of force at an enemy is to use my entire body. I throw myself at him. Hurrah! I lead with my shoulder and charge into the man, sending him flying. I don't like making sound effects. It sounds really dumb when I do it. This is why I'm not a voice actor. In a moment of panic, I lose my own balance and tumble to the floor. Good job. I try to get up, but another soldier is already standing above me, about to strike with his sword. I'm going to die. No, you're not. The moment I think this, the gunshot fires and the soldier is thrown aside. And Helsing, thank you for saving me.
足手まといになるなと言ったはずだがな。しかし、先の起点に関しては褒めてやる。よくやった。
Aw, he praised her. You got a pat on the shoulder. The two of them handle wave after wave of soldiers, but the enemy attacks get more and more intense. At this rate, Van Helsing and Victor will be overcome even with their skills. As I think this, Van Helsing looks over at me.
これで十分だ。走るぞ。
I know. I mean, they have to be ending sometime, right? They just don't have an endless supply of troops on a train. Victor and I nod. Our objective is to lure the soldiers here, then disconnect the rear train cars to cut them off with the Twilight Leader. There are enough soldiers here in this car. All that's left to do is dash through the crowd of enemies and cut this car off. Victor and I run after Van Helsing. The Twilight soldiers standing in our way are shot down over and over by a storm of bullets from Van Helsing's gun. After running through several train cars, we turn back to look at the ones behind us.
フラン、私の後方を見張れ。
わかった。
カルディア、ここからはお前の出番だ。連結機を壊せ。近づく敵は私が受けよう。
Leave it to me. I crashed out and started attaching the device I was given to the connector. The device is fairly complicated to install, but with all the training MP had given me, I'm able to handle it easily. I quickly disengaged the safety. It's done now. And Helsing's gun goes off nearby. I take out a wrench and screwdriver and quickly secure the device. It's supposed to set off a directed blast that will precisely destroy the connector. It's in place now.
作動させろ。
Boom. The connector breaks with a muffled explosion. I'm so glad it worked. The soldiers realize what we've done and rush over, but Van Helsing's guns keeps them at bay. The final cars gradually fall behind, with many of the guards still on it.
やった。まずは成功だね。
I don't think they got this far in the other one, did they? I don't even remember.
喜んでいる暇はないぞ。そろそろ視線への分岐点だ。
そうか。うん。気を引き締めるよ。大丈夫。
But there shouldn't be any more enemies, right? Then, as I say this, several troops appear from the back door where we had just cut off the train.
なんでこんなところからまた。
They're sneaky.
キリがない。大方私たちが油断していると踏んで後方奇襲を企んだのだろう。
And Helsing takes several shots without missing a beat, backing away while keeping the enemies from advancing.
おかしい。まだ随分兵士が残ってる。それに車両切り離しの合図も来てない。ルパンたちはどうしたんだ。
この様子から察するにうまくいっていないことだけは確かだろうな。まったく 何をしているんだあいつらは。
I thought you could handle this all on your own.
カルディア、よく聞け。私とフランはこいつらを片付けていく。お前は2両先の車両の屋根に登れ。お前に気づいたインピーがひとまず安全な場所へと連れて行くだろう。
What about you and Victor? A tube thrown by Victor explodes against the soldier trying to climb in a window. Thought he was out of tubes.
ストックは少ないけどまだ戦える。僕たちなら心配いらないさ。
He just found 3 more tubes.
行け、全力でかけろ。
And Helsing's words gives me an extra push and I start to run. I run through the car where Victor and Van Helsing are fighting and into the next. At a glance, there don't appear to be any enemies in here. If I can climb up to get to the roof of the next part, Impy should see me. You're gonna get stopped by Sholmes. I take a breath and tell myself that it'll be alright when I suddenly hear footsteps approaching from the car ahead. Hello? A Twilight soldier enters the car. Maybe there are still a great many soldiers on board, like those we had encountered earlier.
貴様を捕らえろと言われている。
Oh, really? I spin to the side and barely avoid a quick swing of his blade. You're gonna capture her. Why are you swinging a sword at her? In the next instant, the man has the tip of his sword at my throat.
無駄な抵抗はするな。
Oh, hi.
そりゃこっちのセリフだ、バーカ。何？
Before the soldier can turn around, Lupin sticks some sort of needle into the man's neck. Oh. With that, the soldier slowly collapses.
さすがはフランのしびれ薬。よく効くぜ。
Lupin.
よ、カルディア。どうやらそっちも足止め食らってるみてえだな。
I mean, I guess. Just more soldiers than normal, but Van Helsing's been shooting them all. Lupin, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be breaking the connector closer to the head of the train?
ああ、ちとまずいことになってな。さすがの俺もこの悪天候までは予想できなかった。
Doesn't sound like he's met Sholmes yet. The weather?
外は暴風だ。オーニソプターが思うように列車に近づけねえ。インピーが踏ん張ってようやくこの車両に降りたってわけだ。
And Helsing told me to join Impy.
いい判断だが無理な相談だ。インピーは列車の速度についてくるだけで精一杯の状況だからな。
Then what should I...
何？プランを変更するだけのことだ。俺を信じてついてきな。それが一番安全だからな。
Alright. He looks me in the eyes and then smiles fearlessly.
さて、作戦続行だ。第2ラウンドと行こうぜ。計画は狂ったが、連結機を外さねえわけにはいかねえ。このまま車両内を進んで、長のいる車両の手前で屋根に登る。足音を立てずに移動できるか？
Of course I can. You made sure I learned how.
いい返事だ。
This sounds familiar. Okay. We can finally skip. They're asking if it's a good idea to go and apprehend the thief that's going to be the vampire trying to take back his stuff. So we're going to say we think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. Like Victor said, we can't spend too much time worrying about trying to find money. If we need a lot of money and soon, then I think it's necessary to put ourselves into a risky situation.
そうだな。実際、俺たちは金に困ってるわけだしな。
では決まりだな。コソ泥退治だ。
なんか含みのある言い方だな。
After we talk some more, we're going to skip. We're going to persuade him. Let's see. and persuade the vampire to give up. There's no way we're going to stop him if we're trying. There's no way we're going to stop him if we try using force. That only leaves. Don't worry, we're not going to hurt you. We're on your side.
人間を信用する気など毛頭ない。どうせ懸賞金目当てであろ
あなたが壇上で宣言したように人を殺しその手を血に染めるというのなら私たちも遠慮なくあなたを捕まえることにしましょう。しかしもしまだ迷っているのならどうでしょうか。まずは私の屋敷でお茶でも飲んでゆっくりしてみるというのは。
It's just, that's so like Saint Germain to just invite him over for a cup of tea.
今よりももっと冷静な判断が下せるかもしれませんよ。
う。いいや、世は元から冷静だ。その申し出は丁重に断らせてもらおう。
The boy shakes his head and takes a fighting stance. Suddenly we hear footsteps from behind. This time we're going to ask about his past. Let's see. There's something off with Van Helsing. We're going to ask about his past. I want to ask you something personal. I can't stop thinking about it. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. That boy, Dracula II, did you kill his father? Van Helsing falls silent for a while. For some reason, the silence begins to frighten me.
ああ、その通りだ。私が殺した。
I don't know Van Helsing very well, but that simple admission eloquently conveyed the immense weight he bears on his chest. I see.
紛れもない事実だ。私はあの少年から父親という存在を奪った。
His words are stern, distant. He's telling me the complete, unabridged truth, but he doesn't look my way at all. It almost feels like he is telling me that I have no business asking this about him.
もう遅い。部屋に戻って休め。
He turns back to the mansion as he says this. I can't respond to him at all and merely watch him as he walks away. He's so sad. When I enter my room, Cece comes up to me wagging his tail. I'm gonna keep walking down the main path. And we can't let Fran do this. Victor. Can't let Victor do this. Go turn himself in. We're not gonna leave him. Just gonna say that again. So now we're hanging out with Impy in chapter 7. I think we brought him a sandwich in this one. I thought it was during his training, but whatever. So we went to go check on him, and he's explaining about his engineering, and we're gonna say we don't really understand. I'm sorry, I don't really understand.
自分で聞いたのにそりゃないよ。
I'm sorry.
いや、冗談。俺も面白くないだろうなって思いながら話してたし。じゃあ、代わりにとっておきのイングリッシュジョークを君にプレゼントしよ
う。Oh, really? Jokes are nice too, but we might want to get back to repairing the airship.
お、そうだった。確かに、やることやっちまわないとね。
No, I want to hear your joke in English, dang it. After that, Ibby continues to talk to me as he wants to make sure I'm entertained while we're together. Ibby, I think I'm going back to my room now. I'm getting in his way. I could sense it, so I said that to escape the situation.
わかった。ああ、サンドイッチ。サンキューね。本当にうまかった。作業頑張れよ。
Ibby smiles and waves, and I feel a little bit bad about what happened. We're going to prepare for a counterattack, or we're going to launch Van Helsing across to the other ship. The Saint Germain says some really sweet stuff after her sad story with Elaine, And we're going to say thank you. I think we say that whenever it's his route too. Even then, the feeling that I deserve to suffer doesn't go away. But a little bit. Just a little bit. I feel like I've been saved just knowing that there's someone who understands. Thank you, Saint Germain.
私こそありがとうございます。包み隠さず全てを話してくれたことがとても嬉しいですよ。
Van Helsing, can I come look with you? So now we're in Isaac's laboratory, and instead of going with Impy, we're gonna go with Van Helsing.
お前が？私とお前の目的は違うはずだが。
I know, he was just gonna go off by himself, but she asked if she can go with him. Do you not want me to come along?
勝手にしろ。邪魔さえしなければ別に構わん。
Alright, I'll join you then. We leave the others behind and enter one of the rooms along the main hallway. The room is filled with books, documents, and piles of papers, all stacked up and crammed anywhere they can fit. There's so much here. Did my father leave all this behind?
これは思っていたより手間だな。とても今日一日の間に見切れるような物量ではないぞ。
Should have brought a sleeping bag. I wonder if there's anything here written about me.
かもしれないな。どうにしろ、探さなければ始まらない。とにかく手当たり次第に見るしかないな。
Alright. For a while, we continue searching through the documents in silence.
気が早いが、礼を言っておく。
Van Helsing suddenly speaks out without any hesitation.
私一人では、この場所の手がかりさえ掴むことはできなかっただろうからな。お前たちと手を組んで、正解だった。
We have to say the same thing. You've helped us in so many ways already. Thank you, Van Helsing.
協力関係なのだから、助けるのは当然だろう。
Van Helsing sighs, apparently bored, and begins looking through the documents again. I look at his serious expression and begin to wonder why it is that he's trying to look into Finis' secret. Even right now, when we were at the brink of learning the truth of so many things here, my mind is focused on Van Helsing. The reason why he is trying to find out about Finis' immortality.
次に何かふざけたことを言ってみろ。その時は容赦なく貴様を殺す。
When we confronted Finis on the train, he was so heated. Van Helsing definitely said that he would kill Finis. Van Helsing, do you hate Finis?
それがどうした？
You just asked if you hated him. It's nothing, just I was curious about your past. I just genuinely want to know about this man in front of me. Abraham Van Helsing, who people go so far as to call the human weapon. I wish I knew more about him.
私個人の問題だ。お前が知る必要はない。
The sternness in his voice seems to tell me how distant our hearts are. It makes me feel lonely. After a little while, it's making me stop here. I guess we haven't read this, but I'm pretty sure we have. However, Finis stops mid-motion at the sound of a gun's hammer being cocked. Oh yeah, because Impy comes to her rescue, but this time Van Helsing comes to her rescue. At the same time, the muzzle of a large gun is pressed against his temple.
ごめんよ姉さん。予期せぬ人物の登場だ。
From out of the shadows of the glass tube steps Van Helsing.
随分と迂闊だな、フィーニス。
いやあ、君か。君は前回も僕と姉さんの語らいの邪魔をしたよね。間の悪い男は嫌われるよ。
黙れ。ざれ言は眠りについてから言うがいい。
In your sleep.
そう。永遠の眠りの中でな。
またそれかい？君は口ばかりだね。そこまで言うならさっさとしてくれよ。
言われずとも何度でも殺してやる。
And there you go. That's what, I mean, he didn't say this in the first route, but he's killed him before, and he just proved it right here. And Helsing, wait.
黙っていろ。今私はこいつに用がある。
Shoot him again. And Helsing silences me sharply, not willing to listen to anything I say.
殺される前に答えろ。あの時お前はなぜ死ななかった？私はお前の頭を確かに吹き飛ばした。
I'm shocked, but I suddenly understand.
ありえん。その暗殺を担当した人物から直に確認した。間違いなく本人だった。そう聞いている。
I know now why Van Helsing was so certain that Finis is immortal. It wasn't just some member of Twilight. Van Helsing himself had killed Finis, but Finis is most definitely alive. And that's why Van Helsing decided to work with us to try and discover the secret to Finis's immortality.
答えろ！
どうして僕が死なないのか。君に教える義理はないな。
どうやら状況が分かっていないようだ。
Whatever, if you kill him, he's just gonna come back, so why would he tell you?
分かっていないのは君の方だろう。自分のやっていることが無駄なんだといつになったら理解するんだい？僕も暇じゃないんだ。君のお遊びに付き合うのは疲れるんだけどね。
Finis smiles beatifically, and Van Helsing blinks once slowly. I shout out, knowing what would happen now. Van Helsing, stop. Then... and then Saint Germain beat you to the punch.
伯爵、お前は。
Alright, so now we're to where Van Helsing confronts him instead of MP.
申し訳ないとは思っていますよ。あなたの復讐すべき対象を私が手にかけてしまって。
Okay, I'll just go back. Right? So, I was wondering why Finis Naper came back at MP's route. So, I didn't say anything throughout Finis's... I didn't say anything throughout MP's entire route because I'm like, where is he? Why is he coming back? I thought he came back in every single route, but apparently he doesn't come back in Finis's. But apparently he doesn't come back in MP's route. Which I guess that's why MP's is the least a spoiler, because it's not confirmed that Finis is immortal. But Van Helsing confirmed that he killed him here, and obviously he's going to come back later because this is Van Helsing's story.
しかし、敵を確実に殺すことができる機会をそうやすやすと見逃すわけにもいきませんから。
And you won't find out why Finis is his enemy until his route.
どうかご理解いただけることを願っていますよ。
ああ。
The connection has disappeared, that's how I feel. The boy who claimed to be my brother, who was our single source of information, now lies dead at my feet. I feel a new emotion growing within me.
アイザックの情報は別の方法で入手できるように努める。
Or you can just wait for him to get back. I mean, not like he's going to tell you anything, but... It's hard to tell if he's saying this out of consideration for my feelings. And Helsing says nothing more, and I'm not able to determine his true intentions. Yes. I nod weakly.
だが、フィーニスが死んだとなれば、代わりに私はドラクロは2世に殺されることになる。
I don't know know why he's acting like he's dead whenever he's proclaimed that he's immortal, and he's trying to figure out why. I don't know why he's all of a sudden like, well, now that he's gone.
最後までお前の事情には付き合えそうにはないな。
That's right. Now that Van Helsing has accomplished his mission, he must uphold the promise that he swore to Delhi, the promise of his life. Van Helsing will soon go down the same path as Finis. Despite my concerns, I know that this is something that is out of my power to stop. I look up and see countless versions of me that never were. They have no expressions on their faces and simply stare out blankly. I think that's... nope, it's not skippable yet. For some reason, they look sad to me. What am I? What if Finis said is true and I was created by Father? Then why? For what purpose was I made? Finis. I wonder if he was like me, or was he something else entirely? The only person who knows that is dead. He's not. I walk over to him and gently close his eyelids. The least I could do for him is a send-off. Okay, so now we're at the part where she's about to run away. MP comes and runs away with her, but now we're thinking about Van Helsing. I think back on Van Helsing for some reason. When I first met him, he seemed like such a scary person, but as I got closer to him, I realized that was just his exterior. His kindness was in his actions, not his words, and it saved me so many times. Now that Finis is gone, is he really going to give his life up to Delhi, Dracula II? I can't possibly understand the problem between the two of them. But what will Delhi do? It may just be wishful thinking, but could it truly be possible for him and Van Helsing to reach an understanding? I shake off this thought and take a deep breath. Wasting time thinking here won't change anything. I need to leave this place. Let's go. I tell myself this and start walking away. Thank you all for everything. Oh, she actually leaves. Van Helsing doesn't come get her. Finds her later, obviously, but I don't remember how, so it'll be interesting to reread it. So yeah, that is the end of Van Helsing's choices going down his route. Lots of new information. There's not going to be a whole lot of new information going down the next routes because it's like one choice or the other. Like get on the train or not get on the train. That took like 30 minutes of reading just for that. Anyway, this is going to be its own video. So the start of chapter 9 in Van Helsing's route is going to be next in its own separate one because I don't really want to add on an hour or two to this video because it's already over an hour. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like down below and subscribe if you want to see the rest of Van Helsing's route. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.